Well, today we're going to continue our talk series about our hidden power. And today is part 7. Let yourself be loved. That's right. Let yourself be loved, because the only thing stopping you from being loved is you. And so we're going to begin where we begin every one of these talks, and that is to understand that there is a creative power in the universe. It is everywhere present and within everything, and that you and I are using it consciously or unconsciously every moment of our lives. Let me tell you a secret, and maybe it's not a secret, but let's get really clear on this. Because love means to accept. And when we don't accept, what do? We reject ourselves. We judge ourselves. And isn't that what judgment is? Judgment is rejecting who we are. And you see, when we reject ourselves, what do? We blame others. That's right. If we reject ourselves, we don't want to take the responsibility on, because we're rejecting ourselves. That's not loving. So we go out and we blame others. And rejection, my friends, is an overall thought pattern that generally starts with some misunderstanding in our childhood. The Jesuits taught, give me your child from 0 to age 7, and we will make them Catholics for life. Because the Jesuits understood that the brain between 0 and 7 is in theta state. In theta state, that is the hypnotic state, where everything that we see and hear becomes the basis of all that we believe. And so our parents are primarily responsible. School is primarily responsible. Television today is primarily responsible. Religion, primarily responsible. And it is here that our misunderstandings begin, and now we're correcting them for the rest of our lives. You see, the original experience that we have in childhood is so deeply buried that it's forgotten. But the effects of it linger on until we make a choice to change them. The belief in rejection is coupled with an inexplicable feeling of unworthiness. And this, my friends, leads to a life filled with fear and jealousy. Think about that. Rejection coupled with a feeling of unworthiness. Think about this. If you're in a relationship with a committed partner, why would you even feel jealous if you didn't believe you were not worthy of that relationship? If you truly believe you're worthy of a relationship, there's no jealousy. You know, you attracted it. Who you are, the energy that you are, the frequency that you're vibrating it, attracted that relationship. So as long as those frequencies are a vibrational match, there is never anything to fear. People would say to me, if something happened to your wife, God forbid, wouldn't you be miserable? And I said, I would miss her horribly. But the vibrational frequency that I am would attract another partner very similar. That's why when people get divorced and they start dating immediately, they attract the same person that they just got rid of, because they've done nothing to change who they are. They've done nothing to change their self-worth. They still have the same belief of rejection that was implanted in them when they were young. You see, we don't have to be satisfied with anything less than the best. But we have to believe that. We have to believe that we can have the best. What is the best? Whatever we believe. Do you believe that you are worthy of being loved, accepted by someone just as you are? Or do you believe you are not worthy? And then do you settle for something less than what you truly are worthy of? I believe this is where all the great problems in all relationships stem from, is we enter into relationships that are truly not a vibrational match to who we really are, because we have denied who we really are, because we have bought into the illusion from our childhood that we're not worthy. Remember your mother and father saying, if you do this, mommy and daddy will be happy. If you don't do this, you're a bad little boy or a bad little girl. And guess what? Anytime you did something that made your mom and dad uncomfortable, you were a bad little boy or little girl. I want you to know, I was a bad boy. I was disappointing mom and dad like it was going out of style. I was constantly being hit with the wooden spoon or grounded. I know my mother would have gone, CPS would have taken us away from my mother today, because the wooden spoon, that was the method of discipline back when I was growing up. Hell, the nuns would use a pointer and whack you. In high school, the coaches would take a paddle and lift you up as they walloped your behind. Things were different then. And guess what? All that physical abuse really anchored in some deep beliefs, doesn't it? And then for the rest of our lives, we're trying to undo those beliefs, to realize there was nothing wrong. We just didn't fit what they wanted. And all what they wanted was nothing more than their opinion. You see, we must deliberately close our ears to everything we may hear that contradicts what we can have and what we want. Because right now we are being bombarded more than ever with opinions. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it's coming from all different angles. And what it's happening is we're being led to be molded to be like each other. We're not supposed to be like each other. We're unique. We're supposed to be unique. If we don't embrace that, we'll all be in a mental institution, because we've chosen to not use our conscious power to be unique. And that's why we're here today. We're here today to awaken to the power within us, to awaken to the fact that we are unique, to awaken that we can create the most perfect, unique life, to awaken that we can have an incredible partner that we're worthy of and they're worthy of us. Do you notice how I said we're worthy of and they're worthy of? Because you want to be in a relationship where both people feel they deserve the other person. There is no such thing that we have to settle in life. That's not knowing the truth. Settling is a losing position, and that will not bring happiness. That will not bring a fulfilled and meaningful life. You see, our outlook determines our outcome. So the key thing for us is to get our outlook right, to get your attitude right, to come from a frequency that's right, to know where you're going, to really understand who you are, and make that outlook everything. And that means, my friends, maybe you've got to let go of your addictions to social media, your addictions to the news, your addictions to being right about other people. And maybe it comes down to really now starting to focus just on you. What do you value? What is your mission? What is your purpose? And that becomes everything that you focus on. And my friends, that's not an easy task. But when you have clarity, it's not that complex. But it takes great courage, it takes great clarity, and it takes great discipline. It takes discipline to be you, because there's the appearance that everyone wants you to be something else. You see, visualization is an excellent tool to create an outlook that the universal law will understand and create. That's why I highly recommend take some time each day, just a couple minutes, and visualize yourself living in your perfect body. Visualize yourself with your perfect partner. Visualize yourself doing what you love to do, bringing value to others. Visualize yourself living an abundant life. Because if you can create the vision, the law will look at that vision and it says, oh my God, what a clear picture. And it says, I think I'll create this. It doesn't even say I'll think it created. I will create it, because that's what the law does. It responds to us. You see, when we change our outlook, we can change our whole world. And we, my friends, have complete 100% responsibility for our outlook. We have 100% responsibility for how we look at our lives. I know that here I am in my 49th year of marriage. I can look at my wife and say, oh my God, she's old. Or I can look at my wife and say, oh my God, what a beautiful soul that is vibrating and supporting and loving me. And then all I do is see the beauty of her, physically, mentally, emotionally, and I accept her just the way she is. Because I know how I look at her is my choice. She's my life partner. I have a dedication. I committed my life to her, to support her, to grow her, to share with her, and to have fun with her. And as long as we're both alive, I will live that agreement. You see, to experience more, we must become more. But to experience more, we also must determine what it is. To become a millionaire, it's not important about the $1 million. It's about who you become that's important. To become loving and have a loving relationship is not about the relationship. It's about who you became to have that relationship. To experience perfect health is not about the walking, not about the eating, not about the weightlifting, not about the yoga. It's who you become as you became that healthy expression of God. You see, who we are is what we experience. And our job is continually to become more of our authentic self. That's what's important in life. And so I ask this, and I say to you, what do you desire to become more of? What do you desire to experience more of? Know this, that there is nothing out there that will take it. There is a universal law that is responding to the nature of your thought. And I invite you to let yourself be loved.